the entire league. Saving for, of course, Baltimore in that conversation as well. But I mean, what do the Cowboys have left? I mean, they got a good pass rush, they got a good offensive line, but the rest of it is all just falling apart. And now you got Brandon Weeden, who could potentially be playing in a playoff game, and they just gave him away. So you're looking at it just across the board. The Cowboys have had a just crappy season that is not going to change here. The Buffalo Bills do have weapons. McCoy has had his injury problems and everything like that. You still got Watkins. You still got Tyrod Taylor. You still got a bunch of weapons. Hopefully Charles Clay comes back. That's just me selfishly wanting to come back for playoff fantasy-wise. But I think the Bills should win very easily. In fact, I think it should be about 28, and we'll give them 9 because Dan Bailey's also my fantasy team. So let's give them at least 9 points.
All right. Guys, we got to go to break. We're a little bit late, so let's go ahead and let everybody know that when we come back from break, the first thing we're going to be talking about is the Panthers and the Falcons and whether or not this undefeated streak is going to continue. Up next after the break.
Finally, can we take a moment and stop listening to these idiots long enough to get the Cars for Kids jungle stuck in my head?
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Also on the web at carsforkids.com. That's Cars with a K. We're a recognized 501c3 charity organization, so you'll receive a maximum tax deduction. What's more, you'll receive a free vacation voucher of 3 days and 2 nights.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Are you looking for the web's best sports news? Visit jockjournal.com. Sports media has lost its touch. It seems that journalists are scared to report what they see, in fear of losing access to the teams they cover. At jockjournal.com, you get inside information on the entire NFL community without all the politics or fears other writers have. That's jockjournal.com. When you need the NFL sports news, information, opinions, fantasy football, or discussions, there is only one place to go, and it's jockjournal.com.
Hey guys, it's Nash and Javi's here with me. I wanted to tell you guys about the app that we're goofing around with, this Sports Mania. Name that sport. Well, I'm the king around the office on playing this game, and a lot of people have. I'm all the way in level 2/24, and I've been playing like crazy. Nobody's even close to beating me, but we are hoping that you will just go ahead and join us in this thing. Javi, how far have you gotten into this app?
Oh, jeez. I've only gotten, first level, the 6th or 7th question. I'm telling you guys, if you think you're a sports nut, and I'm someone who, I'm always, listening to First Take, listening to Jim Rome. I take in a lot of sports information, and so I always think that I know a lot about sports, but really, this will kick your ass. And if you think that you know sports, you got to play this game, because I guarantee you don't know as much as you think you do.
Yeah, it's true. It's very frustrating, but it's also very gratifying. As you continue to move through, the challenge is definitely there, and it's so much fun. It's a highly addictive game. And what only that, I am going to go ahead and offer somebody $10 to get me past level 2.24. It looks like some middle-aged, older male Olympic guy who's wearing his nice little jumpsuit, and I have no idea what this is. It's Team GB in the background. I don't know. I don't know who this guy is. Help me out. Figure it out for me, and I'll give you $10. More ads, and we'll be talking to you more after the break.
You are listening to Jock Journal Radio. News, opinion, and discussion for all you jock stars.
Support for this show comes from Material. Material is a simple and intuitive e-commerce platform that lets you get your online store started without paying a dime. That's right. No ads, no setup costs, no transaction fees. Experience a fresh and easy new way to sell online by signing up at material.com today.
Okay, we're back. I had to surf porn and post my pics on an adult website.
Well, and welcome back, everybody. I'm so glad to have everybody here. I don't have any Shock the Jock submissions. We are dying to know what your Shock the Jock submission is for tonight. And so please, get that into us. You got to have something good. You have to have something. Javi, you remember what it was, and you told everybody on the air that when the kids are gone, you like to play PlayStation completely naked. Okay, so what do you guys like to do? Completely with no kids in the house, when you get the house all to yourself, what is that thing that you enjoy doing? What is it that you want to do in the solitude of your own home? Text us 77948, type the word text, space, and then the message. So, Javi, we got a whole bunch of games to get through, and we only have about 25 minutes left to do it. Let's talk about the Panthers traveling to Atlanta. Now, Panthers are 14-0. When are they going to lose? I'd like to see it. I'd like to see it happen by Dan Quinn, a rookie head coach. Deep in the season, Carolina knows that they're gonna have to start saving some players, saving some energy, saving some of this intensity for the playoffs, and the pressure continues to build. I almost think that this is a good idea for Ron Rivera to lose this game, to get the attention and all the pressure off of them, so that way it doesn't build deeper into the playoffs. But here they are traveling to Atlanta. Atlanta has been like a weak kitten in most of these contests, and I think they played each other just a couple of weeks ago, and the Panthers completely shut them out. I'm going to go ahead and say, though I'd love to see it go the other way, I believe that the Panthers are going to win 24-10.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, you can't pick against the Panthers this far, even though Jonathan Stewart, no problem. That was supposed to be something that was going to hinder them a lot. But for Dan Quinn, I mean, this was a guy who built his resume on defense, and his defensive numbers are just not very good. They're not absolutely terrible either, but, I mean, you almost expected a lot more from him. And it's going to, of course, take a lot more time to really get his whole system and everything that he wants to build going. But with all the weapons and all the whole team that the Atlanta Falcons were, I really expected them at least to compete in the first meeting that these guys had, but they didn't, and so I can't trust them. I think Ron Rivera, he's going to go for it. I think he's going to go for 16-0 just because, I mean, he's a winner. That's the kind of guy he is. I'm going to take Panthers 28, Atlanta 12.
Okay, all right. So not too different. I think we kind of see eye to eye on at least the dynamics that are going on there. The two teams that are far from playoff contention, in fact, are at this point competing for draft choice spots. The 49ers travel to Detroit to take on the Lions. Now, the Lions, as far as their record goes, is very mistelling. They're an extremely good team with a traveling 49er team coming in, and I see this being a complete and total domination as Matt Stafford and that offense has finally begun to gel. What was a horrible offensive line has become more sturdy and more steady as the season's gone on, and I believe that the Lions are going to make a very loud statement that you better look out for us next year by beating the 49ers 38-3.
I totally agree with you. I think really the Detroit Lions have really just had a lot of bad luck. I mean, of course, they did lose those games. I'm not trying to give them a pass or anything, but I mean, everyone at least knows the one that they lost with the whole Hail Mary Aaron Rodgers call that was just spectacular to watch. But so this team really should have another win under its belt, at least one.
And I just although the Seattle game.
Yeah, and then they got screwed in Seattle too. So really, you put those two wins on them, and their record is a lot better. And so they'd have 7 wins at that point. And the 49ers are surprising people that try to sleep on them. I mean, you saw it with the 49ers. I mean, you saw it with Arizona. You saw it with the Falcons. You saw it with the Vikings. And so they're good if you fall asleep on them and try to just disrespect them on that level. But I think the Lions will come out with a lot of fire, and I think they will score about 30 points. And I'll give San Francisco some points too. I'll give them 18.
Okay, all right. So you see the 49ers having a much more success against the Lions than I did, at least that defense. I see that defense as being actually one of the more pinnacle and premier defenses in the NFL at this point. But I can understand how the 49ers, at this stage and with the way things are going, I could see how somebody might think that 49ers on the road could put up that kind of points. I really can. The Texans travel to Tennessee to take on the Titans. Now, Texans look like...
I just can't believe Mariota.
Yeah. Well, let's expand on that.
Well, I mean, it's a sucky way for a guy that had he had an all-right rookie season, and it just seems to let him see him go out for the entire year with only a couple games left. It's a bummer. I like the kid, and I think he had a couple flashes of excellence, and I think if he keeps it up, he could be a pretty good quarterback in the league. But I like the Texans. I mean, they're a pretty good team. J.J. Watt, Vince Wilfork, and you got Cushing back there too, and they got, of course, DeAndre Hopkins on offense. I like them to win this game. I like them about 26. I'll take the Titans to. I'm going to give them 6.
Okay, and I tend to buy into the same thing that you're selling here. And furthermore, on Marcus Mariota, now he's received 2 injuries this season. This isn't such a good thing to be following Jake Locker with, if you know what I mean. This whole fan base is tired of seeing their quarterbacks sit on injured reserve. They're going to have to figure out something that they're going to do, and I think that Metzenberger has more talent than people know. I don't think it's going to be enough to beat up on a Texans team which is playing hard, playing feverish, and playing for the playoffs. I believe that the Texans are going to keep it very tight, though, because their offense does not have enough firepower to put up an extraordinary amount of points against the Titans' defense. I believe that the Texans come in 17-10 by the end of the game. The Steelers. Ben Roethlisberger has been playing out of his mind lately, and he's going against one of the worst pass defenses in the NFL against the Baltimore Ravens. Now, not only do they have a terrible pass defense, but their offense can't move the ball because they're on third-string everything. I mean, third-string quarterback, third-string running back, third-string wide receivers, fourth-string wide receivers. The Baltimore Ravens' whole offense has become completely disheveled, and winning the field position matchup with this team is not difficult. However, they're both division rivals. Does that flatten out the score a little bit and make it a little more competitive? Or is this just going to be what everybody expects it to be and the Steelers dominating? I say Steelers dominate 49-7.
I totally agree. I mean, what's left of this Ravens team? They just don't have anybody left. What can you do? I mean, the Steelers are on total fire right now. They just went up against one of the best defenses in the league, the best defense in the league, and they ended up winning. And they ended up winning in a pretty good fashion, too. I mean, yeah, they didn't have a good quarterback, but, I mean, I was very convinced that the Steelers are very for real. It's one of the teams that you do not want to face in the playoffs. I would say the Steelers and the Seahawks are 2 teams you do not want any part of.
No.
I think it's going to be what it is. They want to blow out. Steelers 38, Ravens 10.
Okay, all right. Now, this has another looking of a blowout. However, both of them have very similar records as the Jaguars travel to New Orleans to take on the Saints. Jaguars slightly better team across the board, in my opinion, and their offense is completely legit. It really is. Now, the